Hello, I'm Jim Schroeder of the Schroeder Law Group, and I want to talk to you today about the basic framework or process of a short sale. And we're going to cover this very briefly. It's an overview. For more details, I encourage you to schedule a strategy session with me where we spend an hour looking at your specific situation and I can answer your questions directly so that you can develop a great strategy and plan for how you are going to get from where you are to where you want to go. So briefly, if somebody is pursuing a deed in lieu of foreclosure, which is where you sign the house back over to the bank or to your lender, or a short sale, you follow roughly the same process for the first several steps. And it begins by proving that you have a valid hardship. You can check out one of my other videos about how you prove a valid hardship and also what documentation a bank might be asking for to prove that hardship. Hardships can be tricky. There are only certain ones and reasons why you qualify and have a qualifying hardship. Some people think that you can do a short sale just because you don't owe enough, you owe more money than what the house is worth, and you're generally, a bank is not going to let you do a short sale under those circumstances unless you can also prove a qualifying hardship. So the first thing that you do is you present your hardship to the bank, and simultaneously you can list that property with a licensed realtor. So that's an important step. People need to understand that they can't just do a for sale by owner or put the house generally up for an auction. They need to list it with a licensed realtor because the realtor is going to market the house to get the highest and best offer that can be presented to the bank. The bank doesn't actually want your house. They don't want for you to sign it back over to them. They're not in the real estate holding business. And for a lot of reasons, it's more expensive for them to take the house back. They want to sell it at the highest possible price and get it off their books. They want to get somebody out of you that's not paying their mortgage, and another bank, or sometimes it's the same bank, will go ahead and finance somebody else to buy that house, somebody that they think has a better chance of making all of their payments. So the first thing is to prove a qualifying hardship. The second step is to list with a licensed realtor. Not all realtors know what they're doing with short sales, and you can get into a lot of trouble just using a realtor. So I really encourage you to talk to me about what realtors you should be working with and also working with me. Think about it. You not paying your mortgage, or you making an agreement to walk away from your mortgage for less than what you owe, that's a civil litigation. That's a real legal issue with tens of thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of consequence if it's done wrong. Realtors are not attorneys. They shouldn't be practicing law. And in the same way, lawyers shouldn't be practicing real estate. I'll tell you a quick plug. I am both a licensed New Jersey realtor and an attorney licensed to practice in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, DC, and Ohio. So I try and stick to my licenses with what I do. But you need to have a licensed realtor. So hardship, list with a realtor. Then hopefully you're going to get a good offer on the property, a good market value offer. That needs to be presented to the bank with a listing agreement, a contract, any addenda that belong there. If there are repairs that need to be done on the house, those should be provided with the buyer's inspections, maybe their inspection report, and also the contractor's estimate to fix those things, to show the bank that the offer that's coming in is a good offer and the condition of the property. The next thing that's going to happen is an appraisal. The bank is likely going to order a full appraisal of the property, and they'll determine what is the value of the property in the fair market by the appraisal versus what the offer is. And then hopefully those numbers are close enough and the bank sends you an approval letter that says you may sell the house to this person for this amount on or before this date. And then you go to closing. And certainly there's some paperwork that needs to be sent to the lender. You're not going to get any money at closing. You're going to get $0. The bank is going to get all of the money, but in return, they're going to allow you to walk away without having to pay off the unpaid balance of that mortgage. I'll remind you here that there are certain tax ramifications and they change, so you should be talking to a lawyer, and most likely that lawyer is going to tell you need to talk to a CPA about those tax ramifications. Again, people need to stay in their lane. Some lawyers are also CPAs and do tax work, so that's somebody that you could talk to as well. So, prove the hardship, list the property, get the offer, bank does an appraisal. They say yes, you go to closing. That's a short sale. But what if the bank doesn't accept the offer? Or what if you don't get any fair market offers and nobody wants to buy your house for the price that you're listing it at? Well, sometimes the bank will take the property back in what's called a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Some people say, well, why don't I just start there? Why don't I just prove the hardship and sign the house over? Why do I have to go through all the listing and all that kind of stuff? Well, again, it's because the bank doesn't want your house. They don't want cash for keys. They'll do it in certain circumstances, but they would prefer that you sell it to somebody else that'll pay their mortgage and is willing to accept that mortgage. And sometimes it's that same bank and sometimes it's somebody else. But the bank, in certain circumstances, if you can't sell the house for a period of time, sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's a year, the bank may be willing, rather than continuing to go through the foreclosure process, which is very costly for them as it is for you, they'd be willing to allow you to walk away by signing the house over to them if you've proved that we can't get a fair market offer. So that's the basic outline of a short sale and also a deed in lieu of foreclosure. These are complicated transactions. Again, there are tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. You need to have good legal counsel. I'd love to talk to you in a 1-hour strategy session about your specific situation. At the end of the hour, you'll have a plan and an understanding of what your options are, and you'll know how to go ahead and handle your specific situation, how you can hit the reset button. It's my joy to help people get from where they are to where they want to go in life. And these short sale strategy sessions, we can really help people. Again, my name is Jim Schroeder of the Schroeder Law Group. My phone number is 609-270-7590. And my website is jerseyshorelawfirm.com. Have a great day.